It is a skyline that has some definition now. But Minneapolis is a Midwestern city that has evolved over time, coming of age in the 60s and getting a big boost in the 70s.
Okay, ready? Action. Go. Down. Easy, good. Okay. And cut. How was that?
That came in the form of a television show, a hit television show in a pre-cable era when only the broadcast stations were in play. And it came in the form of a story about a newsroom and a woman pioneering in the field named Mary Tyler Moore.
You're going in, you got to make a call, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who, Val? Or me?
You.
Okay.
The footage you see is from the WCCO archives. They had a crew follow behind the scenes as they produced a new open for the show.
I asked once, why Minneapolis?
Yeah.
You know, and I was told they were looking for a second-tier city. First-tier cities being Chicago and LA and San Francisco. A second-tier city, just meaning that it just didn't
Had an
have
identity kind of by its own?
Right. And they had looked at Minneapolis because of the weather, because of the changing weather, and they liked that.
Gave them some more variety for scripts?
Very much, very much.
Colleen Szot knew because she was there. A young, enterprising, and aspiring writer who submitted scripts and had them purchased. She got an up-close look at the show and the woman who helped change the game.
And they started in 1970. I was still in college, and I sold my first script in '73. But before then, I had gone to several dress rehearsals, and I can get goosebumps today just thinking about that first day. Because there's nobody in the audience. It's just the crew and the cast, and it's just, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
You just can't believe it.
We sat down for a cup of coffee at the now symbolic booth at Basil's Restaurant in the IDS Tower, the one that was part of one of the most famous opens to a show in television history.
More animation, Mary. Zoom in.
See, they decided to shoot an elaborate production that told you every Saturday night the show was about to start. In so doing, they captured the city of Minneapolis and, to an extent, the state of Minnesota.
Well, that put us on the map, too, for that, you know. Let's go to the city and get a job in journalism or broadcast and follow in the footsteps of Mary Tyler Moore.
And that was the inspiration, right? That created an inspiration
Oh,
for
absolutely, yeah.
Little did Hollywood know what it was doing for the state, but they were gently introducing the world to this place many had heard of but did not understand. And in less than a minute, you got an idea of what it meant. But this was truly Minneapolis,
Yep.
skyline, couldn't miss it. What do you think the impact was in terms of connecting Minnesota because of the way they shot the open?
Oh, I think it was tremendous. There were so many, they want to make sure that they got all of the seasons in there.
Yeah.
And so the shot where Mary is walking around the lake, it was still pretty cold. And she was wearing a short sleeve, but she says, please let me wear long pants. I don't want to wear shorts or anything. She said, fine.
I just want to go far enough so to make sure that it's long enough for the titles. Can we do one more that way?
It was actually the second time they reworked the beginning open that the show was already a hit in its Saturday primetime slot. So when Mary Tyler Moore came to town, there was a buzz.
When they were shooting some of the Nicollet Mall things, I was told that they had more people in the cold watching than any other shoot that they had ever had.
I've seen some footage, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, because it was so unusual
Yeah.
for someone to come and tape a national show here.
That wasn't all that Carol recalls about this iconic star in this iconic era of television. At a young age, she was able to interact with the characters that we had become so accustomed to coming into our living rooms, including Ed Asner or Lou Grant.
Ed Asner was actually my very good friend and my contact, and he actually came to my college graduation, believe it or not.
Wow.
And Ted was just the opposite of Mary. He was very full of himself. He was
Like he was.
Like he was. He was that character, Ted Baxter, almost all the time.
There was Murray, the fictitious news writer with the warm heart.
Murray was just a great person, supportive of absolutely everyone.
Like he was on the show, huh?
Right. And because he was a writer, You know, we kind of had a kinship between the two of us.
But above all, there was Mary. She had moved her career at warp speed with the hit Dick Van Dyke Show, then moved slowly into her own title.
Okay, now he's going to walk forward.
She married the man who produced it, Grant Tinker, and they formed a production company, including producing the spin-off for her on-screen and off-screen friend, Valerie Harper, a.k.a. Rhoda Morgenstern.
Mary was so proud of Rhoda's success. She really was.
They were truly friends.
They were truly friends. And when they had the spin-off, she said, MTM is going to do the spin-off. You know, so
she made the commitment.
Right, so she made sure that Rhoda got everything that she needed in order to have a successful show.
That was part of the charm of this show, that you sensed the chemistry extended beyond the set, that there was something magical about this cast that made us like them.
The cast was really a very tight family. They hung around a lot together. They would go to lunch together. They would, after the show taping on Friday night, they usually went to a local bar, and they were very tight. It was a tremendous loss when they had to give up the show.
But they also changed the pride of a state that had a stake in a national show that showcased the people and the values and all that was held dear to us.
She made some sweeping changes to the show. I don't know if you've noticed, but in the opening song, the last line is, "You might just make it after all."
Yeah.
She changed it to, "You're gonna make it after all."
She made it, and she was adopted by and forever remembered with a statue in downtown Minneapolis. Forever remembered because of what Mary Tyler Moore embodied and what the show did for a city.
It really was a family. I know a lot of people say that, and it kind of gets like a tired thing, but you know, it was almost like a divorce when the show went off the air.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.